Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like and also share for other new members to watch. You can also join the discussion by sending us a voice note on the WhatsApp number showing on the screen. Thank you. Today, Gyampo has also come out questioning the government about the nuisance taxes he promised when he comes into power. He will abolish and he's not going to impose taxes on Ghanaians, which make Ghanaians to also vote for him. It's the same thing the government is doing now, which he think should be the same thing that will make Ghanaians to vote them out. Without much ado, join me listening to what he said into detail. You can also bring your suggestion under the comments section. Thank you.
Households that have consumed power above the maximum consumption level specified for block charges for Lifeline unit effective January 1, 2024. It continues. The Electricity Company of Ghana and the Northern Distribution Company, that's NETCO, are hereby requested to liaise with the Ghana Revenue Authority to ensure the implementation of VAT for residential customers of electricity above the maximum consumption level specified for block charges for Lifeline units, which to take effect on January 1, 2024, in line with Section 35 and 37 and the Fare Schedule 9 of Act 870. By a copy of that letter, which we'll be putting on the screen right now, the GRA is requested to ensure that it liaises with ECG and NETCO for the transfer of the revenues collected from the implementation of VAT. That's what you see there on the subject matter as part of its domestic VAT collections. What we got to find out was that some of the conditionalities related to the IMF engagements as well. Now, that's the details of the letter as captured, indeed, written by Ken Oforiatta, the finance minister. While we are at it, we had our experiences with the power supply even this week, which we got to know was as a result of our debt owed the West African Gas Pipeline Company. We owed them some $19 million. In fact, $10 million has been paid, an additional some $4 million as well. So there's still some debt owed the West African Gas Pipeline Company. If you recall, we also had some issues with Sanon Asogli in the early part of December 2023, when they threatened to also cut supply, and the government had to engage in some arrangement with them, pay them 60 million, 30 million each in two tranches. There is a big financial problem that we are faced with in our power sector, which is impacting on the supply of electricity. While we try to get Bembachi on, Professor Gyampo, I mean, you are a consumer of electricity. So hearing that we have VAT going to impose, this was actually approved by Parliament, by the way. A number of...
Aisha.
Yeah, but the minority said they were not like
it was approved by Parliament. You know, when these are some of the things that were approved in the last days of Parliament, because you know, and then you have a lot of activity. So a lot of things went through without even we getting to know.
Yeah. Well, so the point is that I saw it, and then I belong to a platform of labor unionists. I mean, this was put on our platform, and government should brace itself to hear from labor about their response. And I asked myself when I read it that, so what happened to the promise by this government to abolish nuisance taxes? What happened to that promise? When somebody was governing, we had certain limited taxations or taxes on certain items which, when you were in opposition, you described as nuisance taxes. And you made it a campaign promise that when we get to power, we would abolish all nuisance taxes. Around the time, those of us who believed in the rhetorics and in their demagoguery. Demagogues are people who know how to talk just for the purposes of capturing power. When we believed in them, we felt that, look, if a government is coming and is going to be abolishing nuisance taxes, let us support them. But it appears that this particular regime is a true definition of the description of partisan politics as being a game of lies and deception. Would they have supported a move like this if they were in opposition? So it beats my imagination that it appears this government stands as an opposite. It stands opposite to all the kinds of things it said when it was looking for power. Inflicting more hardship on electricity, imposing taxation on it. Already the bills have gone, the tariffs have been increased. People are complaining, and the next thing you want to do is to impose more hardship by introducing taxation, VAT on electricity. I think it is most unfair, it is most unfortunate, but maybe what can suit us is a certain understanding that, look, we had a lot of hope in this government, but for now it's a bad case. I mean, we've been disappointed, and so for me, the fact that I'm disappointed, and I no longer expect them to do anything better, suits me a little. That way, I say.
You know what's interesting? when all this was going on, Parliament actually experienced some doomsor as well.
No. My point is this. You see, my point is this. My point is this. If we have debts to pay, if we have their interventions that might be put in place to ensure that we pay our debts for the purposes of keeping Ghana switched on, let these interventions be implemented. But you do not promise us that you're going to be abolishing nuisance taxes only to get power and introduce unprecedented nuisance taxes without even explaining to us. Okay? When J.A. Kufuor was in opposition, I did a seminar work which is published, Ministerial Appointment and Government Expenditure in Ghana's Fourth Republic. It was Kufuor's comment in opposition that made me do that research. He looked at Jerry Rawlings's appointees, the size of his government, and said and compared us to America. That look at the wealth of America, their population and all that. They don't have that size of government. Around that time, Rawlings had, I think, 83 ministers. Now he got to power and he appointed first time 88 ministers. And the media went to him and asked, but you said that you are going to run a lean government. How come your size is bigger than that of Jerry Rawlings? And then he confessed and apologized. He said, when I was in opposition, I saw things differently. When I got to power, I realized that things were so different from how they appeared in opposition. And, well, we grumbled a little and we let. So if you promise that you are going to be abolishing nuisance taxes, and now you have introduced unprecedented nuisance taxes, I mean, the courteous thing to do to Ghanaians is to explain that, look, we promised you this, but we have failed because of A, B, C, so that it will suit us a little. But now it's like we promised, we didn't do it, and we are violating the promise even the more, and we don't care, go to hell. Well, it's unfortunate, but let me tell the MPP administration that what they are doing now, okay, would have a telling effect not on only their electoral fortunes in the coming elections, but in other subsequent elections, even post 2024. Because now you are creating an impression that this is a tradition
that parades experts, saints, supposedly good governance experts. But when you give them the mandate, then they are the worst offenders. They would perform abysmally, even than they would be worse than those that we do. I mean, when the NDC was in power, people felt that, well, these people, they don't know. I mean, just leave them. But the MPP, they have the men. They will be able to do it. But those with the men see what they are doing to us, worse than those who never touted any credentials of having the men. I'm saying that the introduction of VAT on electricity consumption is an example of the nuisance taxes that the party, when it was in opposition, promised to abolish. If for some reason they've decided to do or introduce more nuisance taxes, it is courteous for them to come back to Ghanaians and explain why they have violated their own promise.
Right. Ben Boakye is the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, for example. Thank you. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, Alfred, and good morning to Prof. and Martin in the studio.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Now,
and maybe there are others I haven't seen yet.
Yes, so. There's Haruna, and then there's lawyer Ediji Tamaklo. They are all here as well.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Just a little. See, I'm told that this particular act that has led to the introduction of VAT on electricity was passed in 2013. Okay, now the point is this. Honorable Ijapa Mesa, thanks for giving me that information. I have a lot of respect for you. I have a lot of respect for you. Thank you very much. But the point is that if somebody passed it in 2013 and you have promised us that you were going to be abolishing nuisance taxes, I mean, you should go ahead.
From taxation to production.
You should not. I mean, it was because they passed. It was because they passed some of these things. That's how come Ghanaians were not happy with them. Okay. And so when you've gotten the opportunity, you should go ahead to right the wrong.
As you have made that, but yes, Ediji wanted to a quick and direct response to this. Yes.
Alfred, I think that Professor Gyampo should not allow Ejapama to mislead. From 2013 to date, nobody had placed value-added tax on electricity.
I think that is not in hold on.
Did the law pass in 2013?
He's talking to me. Hold on. He's talking to me. Let me respond. I think, Eduji, what I'm saying is that the guy is telling us that the act was passed in 2013,
and that is true.
Okay, and nobody, but
implementation.
I think that implementation has never taken place from 2013 until now. It's not in doubt.
Exactly.
No, it is not in doubt. That one is not in doubt. And I'm saying that if somebody passed it in 2013 and never worked with it, and you promised us that you'll be abolishing nuisance taxation, then you are not the regime that must go towards or close to the implementation of what was passed in 2013. That also even contributed to we voting them out of power. Okay. And so it is a disappointment to many Ghanaians. And sometimes you do these things, and I don't know the source of your energy and the source of the energy, and you are very bold. Sometimes these things go on and you still ignore them, and then you talk in a certain manner. And I tell myself, are you listening to yourself? Do you listen to Ghanaians? Don't promise abolition of nuisance taxation.
Okay.
And introduce
let me understand this.
Nuisance taxation in your regime without at least apologizing or being courteous to us by explaining why you have decided to go the way you are going.
Let me bring in Ben Boakye on this quick one on this matter. Mr. Boakye, now, is there any real justification for this introduction of a VAT on electricity at this time, especially when we're talking?
Thank you for watching. We really appreciate your time. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Hit the notification bell, like, and also share for other members to watch as well. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.